it's
Hey, Alan, the topic I brought tonight,
yes.
we have time to do it, but I would love to do it because you're the person
Go
whose feedback I need on this one.
go right ahead.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a quick screen share.
Do a
Uh,
slow screen share.
well, it probably is slow with me because I'm so technically inadequate. But here we have it. This is from the Guardian.com. That's a British newspaper, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Space Track. Ukraine war briefing. Pentagon accounting error creates path for billions more to be sent to Kyiv. And they spelled it wrong. It was KIEV up until the war started, and all of a sudden the woke mob decided we had to spell it differently. But what's going on here? The Pentagon has found $2 billion worth of additional errors in its calculations for ammunition, missiles, and other equipment sent to Ukraine, increasing the improperly valued material to a total of 8.2 billion. Here's the key
Okay,
sentence here.
let's go back to the beginning.
Okay, and
Because
I want to read the key sentence first, if you don't mind,
okay, yeah.
and you can, and then I'm just gonna zip it and let you go off because this is your baby. The Pentagon said the staff used replacement value instead of depreciated value to tabulate the billions in materials sent to Ukraine. The $6.2 billion error created a path for billions more to be sent to Kyiv. All
All
yours,
right.
Alan.
Okay. Hey, this really doesn't make sense. First of all, when no, leave that up, please.
I'll get it back up.
Okay, thank you. Because I gotta kind of read it. All right. First of all, the scary part is it said the Pentagon has found $2 billion worth of additional errors.
Found.
Yeah, well, no, additional. Additional to what?
Well, the previous errors. Now we're up to 6.2 billion.
It looks like 8.2.
And for the record, Alan, the
Yeah.
Pentagon has failed something like 6 consecutive audits.
Okay. Anyway,
And that's
the
audits by the federal government. Imagine if it was a neutral party.
like me. Okay.
Well, if you were to audit the records, you'd probably figure out where Jimmy Hoffa's body is at. But
For,
anyway,
Yes.
go
for,
ahead.
for those who don't know, Alan's actually a forensic accountant, and this is like his bread and butter. He's been doing this stuff for like the last, I don't know, 100 years. But go ahead, Alan. Take it. I
Thank
mean,
you.
just ram this one
Yeah, you
home.
see, you just made him older than he was, only 90 years. But anyway, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. When you're doing basic bookkeeping, accounting, you got money in and you got money out. So hold on a second. Where do we go?
Sorry, I lost it. I'll get it
Okay.
right back. I'll get it right back. There you go.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Um, when they said the staff used replacement value instead of depreciated value to tabulate the millions in materials sent. How okay, replacement value, what are you talking about? Depreciated value, what are you talking about? How much was spent? Period. There's no guess here. And to say, well, the replacement value is last week it cost 10 and this week it cost 15. So the replacement value is 15. So we're figuring out this is what we sent them. That's not what it costs. What is the actual cost of the materials sent? Period. You got a bank account. You wrote checks. You sent electronic funds, whatever. How much was sent to whom? And so I mean, I would like to see this work they did. That would be very interesting
Well, who
to
did the work?
know.
Who actually did the work? Let's see if I can find that here.
Okay.
Um, I'll stop the screen share so I don't make everyone dizzy with the scrolling. But
No, what this seems to be saying is that they found huge errors, but to be able to be actually accurate in how much was spent, paid to whom, for what, is absolutely simple.
Oh,
And
that's
all
called,
you
don't we call that cash accounting?
well, cash versus accrual. Cash means you're doing your accounting based on what came in and what went out in a time period. Accrual could be, well, I sold something, but I didn't get paid, so now I have a receivable. And the opposite for payable,
Yeah.
where you're accruing even though you don't get the funds or pay the funds in the time period. But
In
basically,
my 20 plus year career as a financial advisor and portfolio manager, our job is to vet investments.
mhm.
And I'm not at Alan's level of being able to understand a balance sheet,
And I'm totally outclassed here when it comes to this stuff.
but I can very easily see patterns where people are shifting. And when you're shifting your accounting methodology from one period to the next, that's a gigantic red flag. And now we have the agency in our government that actually spends more than any other agency, sending it to a foreign country for a war that we have definitely with somebody we don't have an ally, shifting $6.2 billion. That's with a B on an accounting error. What the red flags ought to be, drowning out the entire, diaspora. It is ridiculous what we're reading right now.
Thing is that, for somebody like me, all I want to see, what we need to know is where did the spending, what bank account did the spending happen out of? And was the money sent directly via a wire, or was the money sent to a producer of goods and then that producer sent the goods? But the only way you're going to know this is to actually look at the bank account or bank accounts being used. And
go ahead, Alan.
So this idea of, and then I'd like to see, okay, what report are they looking at that has these calculations that are in error? Let's see the report. And then let's see the material that was used to create the report. It's not complicated, but it'd be a lot of fun to do. A lot of fun to do.
30,000 foot, and I wish someone like you, you need a team to do it because there's so many moving parts in that. But go ahead and lead the team, Alan.
Thank you.
Find out.
Would you volunteer to be on that team, Brady? I bet you would.
Oh yeah.
I'd have a good time with that. You probably wouldn't even have to compensate me for that one. Because they've been wasting money like at a ridiculous level, and that's a big part of how the money laundering of government actually works.
I got a question before I forget. You might know. Is the Pentagon considered a public entity?
I would think so.
Okay. Doug's looking at Alan. What are you going to do? The next question.
I'm on bated breath here.
Okay.
I was cautious with my answer. I would think so.
Okay. It's not private.
Certainly is not private. Well,
okay. And where does it get its funding?
Allegedly from the taxpayer.
Well, from the federal government.
Sure.
Okay, so that would make it public. Is it time to do a FOIA request?
I think it's past time for that.
Then we need to do a FOIA request on the banking that was, the bank records that were used to support these distributions.
Alan, we have had Congress critters stand up in front of the camera and talk about $90,000 nails and toilet seats. This is common knowledge that this happens.
We still need to get it so we can document it and put it out.
So what the scam really is you've got the military industrial complex that even Eisenhower warned us against, longer ago than I've been alive. And he, here's the scam. We can ship our old military equipment over to Ukraine. It's still pretty useful, even though the Russians blow it up faster than it gets there because this entire conflict should have been over a long time ago. We've been propping up a country that had no chance of winning and watching a bunch of Ukrainian people die in the meat grinder, which is just tragic. because we propped up a corrupt government in Ukraine. And now,
Which one do you think is more corrupt?
what, the Ukraine or
Yeah.
or the United States? Or are you talking
No.
about Russia?
Yes.
Oh, well, the Ukraine has got to be, well, it's, look, I'm old enough to be able to look at they have international corruption levels, and Ukraine was really high on the list before we couped their government in 2014, and it's gotten worse since we put puppets in power there. But that being said, here's the way the scam works. Our military ships off our old equipment to Ukraine, and it has to be replaced with brand new stuff. And who makes the money for that? Well, obviously that's the military, that's the Boeings, that's all these companies. They were called part of the military industrial complex. And who sits on their boards? Oh, ex-generals who know they're getting their payday at some point in time. Our military has been corrupted like you would not believe. And the same way the lobbyists corrupt every other industry, the military industrial complex is worse. And this is just a blatant example of it. Now they're using an accounting gimmick. So this $6.2 billion worth of equipment we're about to ship to them that was not actually authorized by Congress.
Who wrote this article?
Now, this one was done by The Guardian. I mean, there's tons of articles on this. It just came out in the last week.
Is there an author?
This one?
Yeah.
No, but I'll find one for you and I'll send it to you. But there's plenty of them. I mean, it's Associated
Because it would be
Press,
interesting to follow up on this.
with Associated Press, Agents, France Presse, and Reuters. So it's one of those articles. But there's a lot of people that have this information.
Okay.
I have not seen anyone do the real deep dive, and that's what needs to be done. But that's the money laundering scheme. That's how government spending works, and that's the big point I wanted to make. Is they changed their accounting, they summon out of thin air another 6.2 billion, and now the military says, okay, we have to replace we can't be under defended, and therefore, Boeing and all the other military industrial complex companies, that's pure profit for them. That's why we have never ending wars. That's how the game works.
I think I might have an understanding of what was said in that. Can we go back to that screen?
Yeah,
the article.
1 second.
I think I have an explanation for those terms. Thank you.
Is that the one we're looking for?
No. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. Using what you just said, Brady, I'm the Pentagon. And I am sending I'm not buying anything right now. I'm actually sending things, ammunition, tanks, whatever, which means I am creating journal entries. And what this seems to be indicating is, okay, the depreciated value is I have a couple of tanks. They've been used for a while. They cost me X. Now they have a lesser value because they're used. So that's the depreciated value. And they said, the Pentagon said the staff used replacement instead of depreciated. Replacement being, this is what it's going to cost to replace it. So in a way, this is talking about not going out and spending money. It is about sending goods that already exist and how they're going to get valued. But I would ultimately, I'd still want to see the banking, because the banking either bought things that got sent or they bought things that were used to replace what actually was sent. Either way, the staff used. You mean the staff wasn't instructed what to do? That's ridiculous. Thank you for showing that again. Appreciate it.
In our chat, Mo Anon, hey, how you doing, buddy? I think it's a guy. If I'm wrong, my apologies. He just dropped the U.S. Government Accountability Office report to the Congress from July. Let me see if I can share that real quick.
Okay,
thank you. We're not going to have time to get into it, but
no.
It's something we scroll up, people, and look at that link, and I'll see if I can share it. Give me 1 second. All right, go ahead and talk, and I'll share in a second.
Well, thank you.
Not sure if it's a male or female.
I don't know.
Use the
you
proper
can't-
pronoun, you bigot.
Stop it.
We're always polite here, always
I-
respectful.
I am.
You just say
absolute-
they. Right? It's
Um,
they and them, right?
since
Jen-
Bra-
I'm a
just call-
chick.
since Brady is searching,
I got
and
it.
we
I got it. I got it now.
Oh. then I'll be quiet.
That's a great share. This is something I haven't read this one yet. So, the report to Congress, Ukraine assistance, actions needed to properly value defense articles provided under Presidential Drawdown Authority from the GAO. That's the Government Accountability Office.
41 pages.
Yeah, we need to get it. I need to read through this thing, but thanks for the share.
Can you get that to me?